Dicen que somos extraños.
Yo no sé por qué tú no vas a maquillarte más. Estás pila de linda maquillada.
Y nos llevaron 1000 años con fábulas de hadas y engaños.
Mira, si yo fuera tú, yo tuviera mucho cuidado con él.
Pero yo tengo mucho cuidado. Nadie lo sabe.
Yo tuviera más cuidado todavía. Y yo no te debido de eso.
Fit. I think you would like to call some people on stage.
I would like to welcome my cast and my crew. Please come on stage. Before Carlos showers me with questions, I want to say something. Thank you all for being here. It truly means a lot to me. This film means so much to me. It feels like an open page from my youth, from my younger years. Making this film has been incredibly hard. Carlos and I were two eager friends trying to make a film 9 years ago. Hiding who I was became an integral part of my life. I just wish we didn't have to do that anymore. So, dabbing this. So, Carlos, you want to start?
Yes. You can share with Carlos.
Hi.
Hi, Carlos.
So, I've known Victoria since I was 14 years old, and across the years, we kept talking. We weren't like best friends, but we kept talking, and we had a lot of things in common. And she even told me like when she went to study film, and I went there too. So when I got back, I told her, hey, let's get together, maybe we can make something happen. And there was this image that I had, and it was about 4 girls covered in blood, dead of night in a car. And I told her that image, and it really connected with her. And that just got the ball rolling, you know. And we just started, that's the beginning of like a beautiful creative collaboration, you know. What's the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Victoria, would you like to add something?
Yeah, so that was in 2016. We were just returning from film school, and we found out that it was very hard to make a queer film in the DR. We always went out pitching the film, and people were like, we don't want to get involved in this. I don't want my brand in this film, so we kind of, put it off. And then I thought it was like I wanted to insist because I wanted to make this film, I really wanted to talk about coming out in a very religious and conservative society, which, my country. And I thought that I just had to do it, so we lied. Lo siento, Maria. We lied a lot, and we omitted a lot of stuff in order to get this film made. And it was very hard to make.
It was worth it. Thank you for your story.
I don't know, since I come from a documentary background, I was just exploring a lot of the inner lives of the characters, especially, obviously, Liz. And I think I was just trying for them to find out who they were inside the story as well. And I was just watching a lot of Mike Leigh films at that moment, so I was like, I wanted to try something new. And I think I was just trying to convey like this very sad and lonely path, you know, like the journey of Liz. And, you know, inhabiting, like I've spent all of my life, like all of my friends are straight, so I've always been in like straight environments. So for me, it was like, you know, I can tell my own story. I can tell like this lesbian growing up in a straight group of friends. And I think because of, you know, as years passed, that rage that was there, maybe when I was starting to write the film in 2016, developed into a kind of sadness and nostalgia. And I don't know, I just wanted to portray someone that was trapped, lonely, and isolated from the rest of the group of friends.
I wish I could say easy. I thought I was developing psychosis for a bit. I had a very hard time sleeping. Yeah, and when I finished filming, like 2 months afterwards, I was still scared that I was just gonna get murdered out of the blue. So it wasn't easy. But I feel like playing Liz shouldn't be easy. Because if I say it's easy, then, you know, we're just dismissing the whole point of the film, which is it's very hard to be someone that's not accepted in your own country. I mean, it's you know, I live in Spain. I live in Madrid. I don't live in the Dominican Republic because I felt like, even though I really love my country, I just felt I never really could express myself, just so I moved away. And I feel like Liz has really taught me so many things. She has definitely changed who I am as a person. But if anything, I feel like her sadness, in a way, is also very hopeful. Because even though maybe her life is not perfect, I know that what she's doing is for other people to have just a better life and the life that she didn't have. So I feel she's very brave for opening up, and it really has been a blessing.
Thank you so much for your answer.
I told Vicky the first time I saw the film that I saw a completely different Laura when I shot it than when I saw the film. Because I played the character like in a very, let's say, a naive way. She was completely unaware. Maybe she knew a little bit, as she said at the end. She didn't accept the fact that, she didn't want to accept the fact that Liz was who she was. And when I saw her on screen, I was like, oh my God, like, and it's an analogy to life. Like sometimes through sticking to the norm, to being like everyone else, we hurt people that are different. And we live in a country that everyone is pretty much the same, everyone follows the same path. And if you do follow that path, you're gonna be very happy and everything's gonna be great. But when you fall out of that box, then you are gonna have a tough time. And you see that with the people around you that don't fit in. Some of them have to move out, some of them can't because of several reasons. And it's sad to know that sometimes unknowingly we are part of the problem. So I think it was great for me to see both sides of the movie when we shot it and then when I finally saw it, because I see that I could also be the problem unknowingly.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for being here. It's so nice. For me, Danielle, it's very special because even though she's a straight girl and she lives in this like bubble that we all live in the DR and some societies, I think that she could see through things, like maybe what Liz was going through, and maybe she was paying more attention than the others, and For me, Daniel was a very good friend, and I think that we all need that friend to feel less lonely in this society. And well, yeah, that's what I take from her.
Thank you so much.
I want to say something. I remember this one time we were having a scene in which Laura had to be a little bit homophobic. And I remember she was like, but I'm not like that. I'm like, it's not you, Camila. It's your character. And we had to struggle so much. Like, that's not me, you know? Like, I wouldn't do this. Shh, Camila, you are not the character.
I love that.
Yeah, of course. Like our production company is called Argento's Dog, which is a Dario Argento famous scene in which like there's a dog chasing a girl for 20 minutes. The film is called Tenebre. And I remember me and Carlos watching that in like a cine club, and we were just like laughing so hard and being like, we have to do something like this, you know? But we had references like Brian De Palma and obviously Carpenter. And I think that if something modern, like obviously it follows, but I think I can relate more with Jane Schoenbrunn. Which is someone who's also doing something for the queer community, and I think that I look up at her. You know, the first time I saw it after I was away for like 2 months, and then I came back to the DR and I saw it for the first time. And I don't know, somehow I was like, oh, so this was all like a bad nightmare? And to see Liz is just like thinking what could happen if she just says, I'm gay, you know? But obviously it's not it. But to me, it's weird, because I think that ending might be divisive, like between straight people and queer people. Straight people will be like, oh, she died. Bitch died. And I'm like, no, she just overcame like one big obstacle, but it will not be easy for her. You know, and I think that's how I see it. I feel like I was talking earlier that for me it was so important to get the approval of my parents that I felt for so long that I was doing something bad. And to me, like my parents, they are a huge part of my life, but they're assholes. But I think I survived. I'm here, right? I'm 37 years old.
Thank you so much.
Listen, we didn't. I think we all lost it, like from the production side to the acting side to like everything. Everyone was like crazy stressed. We shot this film in 2 years. Like in a 2-year span. And I think we were all just committed to getting the film made. And I had such loving cast, like they were amazing, they were a blessing. But I didn't see it as cathartic in the moment. I think I felt something when I saw the film for the first time. And I was just like crying and being like, oh my God, this is such a sad film. Because I was having so much fun filming it, but then when I saw it, I was like, damn, yo, you sad, girl. So yeah, and I had a lot of people during the whole part of making this film, like this guy over here, he was like a psychologist, you know, and we sat for nearly a year working in sound in the film, but he was also my counselor. And obviously with Carlos, he was also the producer of the film, and Jose, and I think we were all just, I mean, tell me something bad, that stuff happened in the shooting. In the process of making this film, we encountered every single obstacle in our lives. But if someone else wants to say something different.
It was really hard. At the moment, it didn't feel, I mean, we were having a lot of fun, because, but while shooting it, we had to overcome either budget constraints, the weather, there was the scene where they fight in the pool, where Carlos arrives. There was a torrential downpour that nobody expected. And the DP was like, we can shoot it. And I'm like, no, we don't have insurance, we can't. I'm like, please, don't. I love the attitude of wanting to shoot it, but, we have to also get the film made. But yeah, it was fun, but almost impossible. But it got made.
Thank you.
You don't mind, I want to add something more emotional, because I don't mess with budget. Thank you for your question, first of all. I've always wanted to be an actress ever since I was little. It's like one of my first memories was just like playing, like my sister's a writer, so I used to like do plays when I was like 8 years old. So to me, like being an actor is just a very big part of my life. And when Victoria told me about this story, I was like, oh, this is easy. It's fine. I'll be fine. When I read the script, I never imagined it was going to be just so powerful to film it. And I was constantly having so many panic attacks. I was crying all the time. I was crying when I was not supposed to cry. So I'm like, Liz, you're so annoying. You're like always so sad. So I used to just go out and just like smoke a bunch of cigarettes, and I come back and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I am feeling good now. We can shoot. But after the filming ended, and it carried a lot of that sadness as well, I realized that it's just, it's very important for my country, for these emotions to be portrayed. And honestly, it might sound like very crazy and like a torture-y, but I love carrying with this pain because it means I get to do the job that I like to do. So, even if it's very painful at times, it's also very beautiful. So, now I'm here and you're asking me this question and it's great. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, making this movie was fun. Like, it's always fun to make a horror movie, but it was different because, like Carlos said, I've been friends with Victoria for like 15 years. So you always commit when you make a film, but when you commit making your friend's film and you know how important it is to your friend, it's different. It's a different kind of commitment. Also, she's very involved with post. She loves it. She has a background in editing, so she is knowledgeable about it and she's very into it. Like, there's a process in mixing where the director is never there. You're just setting up stuff. It's super technical. She was there all the time, every second. And that's just what I could add. Just like, it was a big ally there all the time, just helping me get this monster done. It took a year, but it was worth it.
Thank you.
I want to add something because he's so shy and he doesn't talk about himself, but we also watch movies together. We watch a lot of movies, so I remember that every time we gather some Sundays to watch films, and we were watching the Harry Potter series. And I remember that we were in the middle of sound designing, and I think, what was the Harry Potter film? Order of the Phoenix? Yeah. And I remember just like hearing all the I'm like, and I remember just like doing and it was fun because most of the time I was like, I want to do something, so let me please say this.
So your voice is also in the film.
I'm the monster too.
She has a list in there. But now that Victoria's talking about the voices, it's pretty cool. We knew that we wanted to do kind of like the Harry Potter style voices, but I wanted to make it different. We really didn't know how to go about it. And then I was thinking, like, what is it that I'm looking for? I'm looking for interesting sounds that have a peculiar cadence and rhythm to them. And I just thought, well, that's poetry, kind of. So we invited voice actors in, and actually we had her read Gustavo Adolfo Bécquer, which is one of my favorite poets from 19th century Spain, from Spain. And we started playing with his poems and organizing in different ways, and that's like 90% of the voices that you hear. Wow.
You know, I was talking to Carlos, I was saying, I don't know if people are gonna laugh, because, you know, this is very Dominican. Like, these characters are very Dominican. But I think we just, you know, someone told me, like, were you trying to do something different from the horror genre or something like that? Or are you following up to the classic directors that you like Carpenter and Brian De Palma? And I was like, yeah, of course, but I don't know if none of those people were going to like high school trips to a hotel, to an all-inclusive, and like hang out with a lot of people and just, you know, talk about making out or some stuff like that, you know? So for me, it was like, for us, it was like so important to have that youth portrayed in film. And it's specifically very peculiar that we don't have a lot of representation in Dominican Republic, like youth representation. I think like one of those are like a film called Medium Lies, but it's so crazy that we don't get to do that. So we wanted to kick in like alternative music from the DR. And then, you know, like the hypocrisy of being Dominican as well. So I think, you know, like we're sort of two-faced. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but but in a way, like, I don't know, we were just making it, and we started writing this, and then, you know, 8 to 10, 9 years happened, and we weren't young anymore, me and Carlos, so we were like, yo, this slang, nobody says this anymore. So we were like looking at them and like, can you please tell me some slangs? So they kind of, you know, seep in their whole youth. We were vampires. So,
I want to add something. Working with Vicky to me was amazing because Vicky writes a script and then she gives you the characters. Like, all the rehearsals were improvisation exercise between the actors, and something I really enjoyed about working with you, and I think I've said this to you, is that I got to fight with her about my character. I got to tell her I don't think she would do this, and we would have an argument, and of course she's the director, she makes the choices, but the fact that I had a voice about my character is something that sadly doesn't happen a lot. So I think that's also a reason why the characters are so Caribbean. We are from the Caribbean, we are Dominican, we were born and raised there, even though you don't live there anymore, she was raised there, you know? So each character has a part of us in it. So I think that's also a reason why.
Thank you.
Woo! We have so many problems ahead of us. I mean, there was a release of the film in a newspaper, and there was a picture of the three of them plus Jesse, the one with the dreadlocks, and someone wrote, "These liberals, why don't they go eat granola?" So, you know, like, we're facing crazy stuff. Like, people would comment on like videos without them even watching the film, like, "Oh, look at them promoting queerness." So, I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of, I hope it sparks controversy so that people can go see it in the movies. We do have like some bumps in the road regarding distribution because it's scarce in DR. It's very, very hard, and for let's say they would pin this artsy movie, so they would just put us in like a 4 p.m. slot so that no one would see it and be like, "Oh, no one came." you suck. So we're trying, I don't know, we're thinking of doing something different. Because I want the younger people who are studying film to see it, because we had a lot of help from universities in terms of like extras, people having internships in the film, and I think for me, I would like for the youth to see this film more than anyone else in the world, because we lacking in queer visibility there.
Thank you so much. We have to finish our Q&A now, but another big applause to Victoria.